The last troll thing in the lines is I trolled the internet with a mock draft, and it really got people. Evan, what were your thoughts on the mock? You were quiet. Cheers to episode 108.
Cheers, I have water.
Blue Moon.
Evan has water.
Evan hasn't said cheers yet. I'm kind of rattled.
Cheers.
You did say wow when you said 108.
You did. Water.
Blue
Moon.
Yeah, I don't drink.
Since when?
I'm on a 15-day absence. Since Evan's birthday, I haven't.
Yeah, what you did that night will make you reconsider how you live.
That's not why.
Yeah, people have been talking about it.
No, they haven't.
Today is Sunday, February 5th. It's 8:01 p.m. Our first episode in February. Not ever. But ever. Evan let us know we've been doing this for 2 years. The number one sports podcast in Michigan has been steadily going for 2 years. We didn't start out as the number one podcast, but we grew to that mark, and we've been there ever since. No one's knocked us off yet. And this was our first weekend without real football in a long time. And I just want to check in on my friends and see how you guys are doing.
Yeah, it was pretty boring. But there was real football today, Grant. Care to comment?
Pete Davidson giving a 69 was kind of funny.
Oh, it was. Evan?
Just go back to the previous podcast back in August when we said we will not take this for granted. We're going to watch more football. I think most of us did. But here we are. Only one football game left of the season.
Evan, I'm assuming since you're such a football guy, you just watched all the Pro Bowl action this week.
Yes, because I had so much free time. I just scouted and prepared.
Like you were watching the QB skills competition with Grant and I. There's no doubt you weren't watching that.
No, I didn't see a single second of anything.
Evan texted us and he said,
I love the Pro Bowl more than real football.
He said Jared Goff and our number 6 pick in the draft for Derek Carr. Who says no? After he saw Derek Carr light up that skills competition.
Although he did ball in that.
To preview the show, we do have football talk. The Detroit Lions were moving and shaking this entire week. People going, people coming. Then we have NCAA football questions that I saw from an athletic article that got me thinking for a recurring theme on this show of what you can take for granted in college football. The third topic will be the NBA trade deadline. We're going to tap into our personal Woj, Evan. He's going to give us the latest insight around the league.
Evan is?
I'm just saying that because Evan said the Pistons were the least franchise in the world that he would want to see win a title.
Yeah, you actually put some surprising things in front, including MSU Equestrian.
Any
athletics.
Yeah, any of them, Evan.
And then college basketball, the actual live sport going on right now, will carry us home. And maybe a couple of miscellaneous things on the end that I wrote down, but we'll see. Without further ado, let's start with weekly recaps. Let's go to Alex.
And go to me first almost every single time. You act like that was some surprise.
We're gonna hear from Alex in the berm. What do you got for us, Alex?
I'm live from the berm here. Well, Wednesday had a basketball game. We won 52-11.
You won 52-11.
Won 52-11.
Why'd they light up on them, man?
Why'd they let?
There's no scouts there.
It was a mercy rule. 40 at any point in the second half. So there's still like 9 minutes left in the game. We were up 52-11.
Hoopsters needs not to go on my tangent real quick, but Hoopsters needs a mercy rule.
Some bad scores today, Evan.
Yeah.
No, not really, because I got to do 8th grade games, luckily, but look, peeping over at the outer courts, there's some bad scores. I mean, I've had bad scores in previous weeks. So,
And I remember in Hoopsters one time we won like 60-8. So, yeah, there probably should be a mercy rule. Anyways, 152-11 on Wednesday. You're probably like, wow, that seems not real. Well, they had 4 guys for the first half. So, we were up 30 after the first half.
Asterisk here. You would have lost this game if they had 5.
No, once they had 5, we still...
If their fifth
were
was Hunter
handling them.
Dickinson.
No, their 5th was a random guy from the hallway that was just lifting and walked by. Who just came in and played the second
So
half.
they let anybody in this league. What the hell are we doing?
He
This
did.
league is so soft.
He did. He does look like he plays some pickup, but we murdered them. So yeah, it was a pretty boring game, I guess.
How much did you score out of 52?
I had 4
20?
points. I mean, it was a 12-minute. It was a 28-minute game. I probably played for like 14 minutes. I had 4 points. Yeah, it was a 28-minute game.
It's 4 periods of 7?
No, it was 2 halves, and it got mercy ruled, Grant, with like 12 minutes left in the game.
You had 4 points out of 52. You are Jason Whitens of your rec team.
I had 4 points in 14 minutes. Not too bad.
How many
It's not like I was
turnovers?
trying to shoot 0.
You sure?
Yes, first game was 0.
A travel counts as a turnover.
I did not travel, but funny you mentioned that. We got called for 8 travels in this game.
Oh.
8.
Call them out. Who on your team got the most?
I'm not going to say his name, but
Friend of the podcast.
no, it wasn't.
Oh.
Although I do believe Drew had to travel and Ben had to travel. Ben also, he deserves some praise, and he listens to the show. Rebound, outlet. I get the rebound, outlet it to Ben. He's running full speed, fast breaking, no hesitation, behind the back, bounce pass from half court to a man in stride for a layup.
No way.
to go up like
So Sports Center
36
top 10.
points. It was ridiculous.
So you guys were clowning on these kids.
Yeah, we were trying some pretty dumb stuff. I mean, but it was like caught, 2 dribbles, full sprint, behind his back, from half court, bounce pass, in his hands, layup.
I can close my eyes and picture exactly how Ben looked doing that. I've seen him do something like that thousands of times.
Yeah, you have.
It's just so like quick and aggressive and just on the money. And you're like,
His
how
whole,
did he really
his
do
whole
that?
body turned when he did it. Yeah, it was awesome. So that was that game. And then Friday didn't do anything, I don't think. Yeah, I didn't do anything. And then Saturday I went skiing with my dad at Mount Brighton.
Oh, how was that? Oh, that's awesome. That is funny.
Went
I think this
skiing with
podcast
my
is going to
dad.
get better with that new feature. I think it's going to get better.
Behind the curtain, we switched to Skype. If you listened to last week, because we got booted off of Zoom, and turns out there's the chat feature on Skype. We'll just put the words you type right over your face so everyone can see it.
You want to tell him what you wrote?
No, but when I started laughing there when you said Friday night, it's because the thought popped in my head to do that, and then it perfectly led into your story.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you went to Brighton.
Yep. Skied.
You skied, Alex. It was you and your dad.
You hit the slopes.
Dude, stop laughing. All right. I can't Dude, you gotta stop. You got to stop. It's not funny.
It's comedy.
It was. All right.
All right.
It's gonna take 3 hours, Grant, at this rate. if you
We
keep
got a
this up.
4-hour limit on Skype.
Skied. And then we went to Evan. I don't know if you remember this summer when me, you, and Cody, we and my dad and his friends played at Moose Ridge. Was that this summer? You remember that restaurant we went to?
Red Robin.
No, he was in Brighton.
Oh, yeah, downtown.
Yeah, that's where my dad and I went after skiing. And I had a probably top 3 steak of all time.
Top 3 steak of all time.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, it was butter melt in your mouth. Grant, don't type anything, please.
That wasn't necessary.
So, yeah, it was phenomenal. So I had a very phenomenal dinner Saturday, and then that was my weekend, really. Today I didn't do anything. I did some laundry, went to the gym, watched the Pro Bowl.
How'd you ski?
Really well. You know, I got new skis last year, and I think using the same equipment multiple times compared to rentals when boots sometimes don't fit and all that other stuff makes a huge difference. So I felt really solid.
I think
also Brighton is a baby mountain, and the Blacks compared to where'd we go last year? Cabernet.
Yeah,
they're like easy blues at Cabernet. The Blacks at Brighton.
Sorry,
I mean I did every single run, no problem.
I think your rental message there, that's kind of a deep metaphor for a lot of things in life, you know?
Yeah, if you want to get philosophical there, sure.
Syllapholical.
I was gonna say syphilis. Philosophical.
How are the conditions of POW?
Icy, not great.
Mm.
The Blacks were a little more fluffy because not as many people attempt them.
Right.
But overall, a little icy and very cold. The wind, ridiculous. The wind was just howling. Like you're shaking on the ski. Oh, Evan, I actually need to bring something up. I just want to hear your opinion. So Grant sent so we're going to Minnesota to go skiing, whatever.
Correct.
Grant sees one TikTok, of a dude that got mugged in Minneapolis. He's by himself, got mugged, whatever.
Not just mugged, drugged and then mugged.
Drugged and mugged, okay. One dude who was alone in Minneapolis. Grant sends this TikTok to me, Cody, and Ben and says, "Hey guys, not sure we're going to be able to go out to the bars in Minneapolis." Because of that TikTok.
That is not what I said, but I appreciate you doing that for the story to make it sound better.
We should probably be looking at Eagan, Minnesota bars instead.
Eagan and Burnsville.
And then I said, Grant, I've been downtown Minneapolis. It's a very nice place, and we'll be in a group. But Ivan, I just want your opinion. Do you think Grant's being a giant baby?
I wouldn't say he's being a giant baby. I think he's a caution guy, but a little bit of an overreaction there.
A little? You want to say he's a baby.
Look, what I think the backstory...
Some people just have that in the back of their mind.
This was manipulation by me to try to set the tone.
Grant's trying to make it seem like this weekend's going to stink.
It's not going to stink. It's just that I don't think everyone fully grasped that I am a 30-minute, half-hour Uber ride away from downtown Minneapolis, and that doesn't sound super fun to me there and back.
Hey, Grant, let me give you a piece of advice. If you didn't want to go there, you should just say that instead of sending a TikTok about a guy getting mugged and saying that's your reason. Well, honesty, best policy, Grant.
That is the reason.
And also, we're very well aware that you, in your time in Minnesota, have not gone to any bars or anything at all. So you don't really know where to go to begin with.
I've gone to a few bars, and I know exactly the bar we would go to if we went to downtown Minneapolis.
Don't worry, we're not going there because a guy on TikTok got mugged.
It is kind of crazy. He got left for dead outside from 1 a.m. to 7 a.m. below freezing. Why
was he by himself?
Loner. Could have been me.
No, then you don't leave your apartment.
Anything else from your weekend?
No, go
17
ahead.
minutes
Update, week 2 of 5 a.m. guys, still going strong.
Some days, but then some days it's just, you don't get a Snapchat and you're like, what's he doing, slacking off?
I sent a Snapchat at 5:30 in the morning, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Wednesday, what happened?
Wednesday, I had a basketball game. I wasn't going to lift in the morning and then go play basketball at night.
Well, how do you think Kobe got as good as he was?
Well, Evan said that you have to take some rest days, so just following my personal trainer's instruction.
48 hours for the same muscle group.
Well, good thing I don't do the same muscle group every day. That's it.
Evan, would you like to bless us with what has happened to you?
Not much. Just busy life stuff. Work, coaching, games, and reffing. Ref 12 games, 10, 12 games today, 12 games yesterday.
Oh, Saturday's now too?
It was hosting in Tecumseh. The football program put it on, so I felt obligated to say yes. Cash at the end of the day, so I couldn't complain.
Is Hoopsters at the high school?
Hoopsters is at the high school, Alex, for answering your question.
Thank you.
But my feet are throbbing right
Evan,
now. There's
you need
nothing I can do about it.
orthotics.
I
New
do.
shoes.
I had them in yesterday.
Maybe those are the problem. Maybe those aren't designed for your feet. Do you have flat feet or high arches?
I don't have high arches. I think I have a normal size foot.
Well, then you probably don't need those.
I don't.
You need to go to Running with Ease. Is Running with Ease and Adrian still around?
I don't have time. I don't have time to go there.
You can go on a Saturday morning.
No, this past Saturday I was reffing.
Who's reffing? Alex, where have you been?
Next Saturday.
Super Bowl.
No, the Super Bowl's on Sunday.
How's you got to prepare?
I like your thinking, Grant. I like your thinking. Yeah, so I really haven't done anything really too exciting. Nothing really mind-blowing that's standing out.
Thrown anyone out of a game yet?
I was so close yesterday.
Oh, tell me about it.
You don't have the balls to throw someone out.
I think Evan could if you really got under his skin.
It would take a flying haymaker his way for him to kick someone out.
No, it's pretty easy in reffing. Okay, so yesterday, 3rd grade boys basketball all day, 12 games, nonstop. Middle school small gym.
This is 3rd grade? 3rd grade?
3rd grade.
So is this when they have the ball,
you,
everyone's around each other? Like they're just all huddled and they like move in a huddle?
Girls, yes. Boys, no. Boys, there's actually like some flow because it's so intense now. Speaking of intense, there's nonstop yelling in 3rd grade basketball.
From parents.
We are getting screamed at. And so, who I'm working with, they said, well, can you just call a clean game? And he's like, okay, you want me to call like how it should be? There will be a travel or a foul or a turnover every single possession. So we went down one possession and we called 3 seconds in the key. And then the coach said, okay, no, we're not doing this. I'm like, yeah, that's what we thought.
3rd grade, 3 in the key.
Gotta move, man. Gotta move. So, just screaming and yelling for 3rd grade basketball. They thought there was like scholarships getting handed out yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It was miserable.
Was he still not there?
Oh!
I did see Beeline walk through the door. You know, he was in the scouting department. LeVar Jordan's not doing anything anymore, so
It's Laval.
he doesn't deserve to get his first name said.
He's better than Thad Matta.
Can we get back to youth basketball?
Bone.
Yeah, so it was brutal, just the nonstop yelling. But we got through it. Today was a lot better because got to do 8th grade, complete 180 difference, and so they actually played like real basketball.
When just picturing when that coach told Evan to like call it straight up, Evan just like took a deep breath, looked down, and said Bo Borowski mode activated, and like snapped up and just started inserting himself into that basketball game.
I just love when people yell and they have no idea what they're yelling about. It just makes me chuckle.
But
But also
or it makes you
get
really
pissed.
angry. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you just get angry and then your feet hurt more
The
because
more I
of
was getting
stress.
pissed, the parents weren't bothering me today. It was the players. Just every single call had to question me.
Team up.
I don't think we talked about it. I think we talked about it in the group chat, but like, you know, that viral video of those kids that were just grittying and like flexing on people.
That.
Have you had any of those like kids, Evan? Like, do kids around you do that?
No,
I don't
we had
think
one,
that really
We had
occurs.
one Celine kid call somebody short after he made a layup.
He did like
Shout out
the short
AJ
thing.
Hogard.
Yep. I told a kid today, if you want to talk to me, you can have a seat on the bench, or you can be done playing today. You see, I'm just asking a question. I'm just answering the question.
Chopped.
So,
damn, you laid down the law. Alex is typing something. He's got a spur. Alex, you got to be more sneaky than that. I saw it from a mile away.
yeah, so that's my life, is getting screamed at by those 8th and 7th graders today.
What about you, Grant? What'd you do this weekend? You went to Raising Cane's 3 times?
I went to Raising Cane's once. Oh, thanks, Alex. That's a great... I forgot. I wasn't going to tell that story, but now I need to start with that. That was hilarious.
Yeah, that was.
It's probably like 7 p.m., late dinner. Was it Friday? Because I had McDonald's Friday, but I was like, I did Taco Bell the week before. I was going to do Raising Cane's this week because I hadn't had it since the Michigan State football game. It's been a long time since I had it. So I wanted some Cane's. I pull up in the drive-thru, like rolling down my window, kind of like about to hit the speaker, and I hear the lady start talking, and it was fast. I'm going to try to say it like she did. Yo, you want some chicken to go? And I kind of just like, with a long, awkward pause, I said, sorry, what was that? And she goes, yo, want some chicken to go?
It's the fact she did it the second time.
And then you guys know how probably awkward anyone would feel, but especially me. Alex, what's vibrating?
I'm getting a phone call from Adrian, Michigan.
What's this? I thought that was in my room. Like, what is
you had
that?
Alex looking at the people above him. Like, what's going on? Anyways, long, awkward pause, and I just go, sure. Like, what?
You should be like, yeah, I'll take some chicken to go.
I should have said, like, yo, yes, I want some chicken to go. I mean, that would have been a moment, but very uncomfortable and awkward.
When you pulled up to the drive-thru, was she still, like, had that much energy?
No, I think it was like they had 2 people working there, so I think the lady on the headset was like more inside. The lady handing the food was no headset on.
I see.
Yeah.
So they're like Chick-fil-A workers. They're like just very happy to see you.
Well, it also was the first time I've ever been through the Raising Cane's drive-thru, so I also kind of want to loop in the audience here. Like, let me know if that's the thing that Raising Cane's does. Like, do they do that? Is that their phrase? Yo, want some chicken to go? Because then it's not her fault. I won't hold that against her.
Either way, it's not her fault. She was just having a good day, and you're being mean.
You're right. That's actually probably how I should have looked at the situation.
Yeah.
It just felt like, what are you doing, ma'am?
She's just trying to bring some enjoyment to your life.
The other things that are notable was below freezing here almost the entire week. The type of cold that, like, when you walk outside and you breathe in through your nose, you like feel it on your nose hairs. Like, everyone knows, like, that type of cold.
Like your boogers freeze.
Yeah, and like your nose hair like tickles, and you're like, whoa, that's freezing.
I saw it was like negative 100 wind chill on the East Coast.
Someplace in New Hampshire.
Yeah. Gross.
Wild.
I mean, you can't go outside.
That's the weather update. The Road to 180 update, 177 pounds midweek.
That's the same as last week.
No, I was up to 175, 176. So if this is the first time I've seen 177 on the scale, potentially ever.
Haven't you ever hit 177?
I've never hit I've never hit 165.
This is off topic, but only I have to ask because my dad mentioned this to me skiing. How much do you think he weighs? Evan, you probably would have a better idea if you've seen him.
Garrett, how much Garrett weighs?
Yeah.
Alex, how much do you weigh?
175 typically.
He weighs right around 200. I wouldn't be shocked if it's just over 200 because of the beer.
Grant?
192.
So I have an I guess 200. 184 hasn't changed in 30 years.
That's a lie. He cut a bunch of weight when he was doing that race thing.
He says no matter what, he is 180 something every time.
180. Oh shit.
He could eat whatever he wants, and he's
I
sticking
said
it
the
that way.
exact same thing. I was like, what about the beer? Like, it's got to be a problem. Like, no.
So I'm close to being heavier than Garrett.
I guess, but he seems underweight.
What's the highest weight you've ever seen on the scale, Alex?
I've never hit 180.
Really?
Yeah. Did you think I was chubby?
No.
You look like a milk bag.
But when you just ripped off like
did.
your Evan. When
You did call me a milk bag once.
When you ripped off 175 there, I'm like, if you're 175, like you can fluctuate to 180. That tells me you're closer to 170 than 175. Because if you're a steady 175,
I'll say in the summer, not as consistent working out. I think I dropped to like 168. I think right now I'm probably like 175, but I have not weighed myself in a while because the scale in the bathroom's dead.
Then you have no clue really what you weigh.
I mean, I was 150 in my first 3 years of college.
Jeez.
I think I plateaued. I don't really think I can get to 180. But maybe I'll try.
Say that now. I mean, it's pretty easy. It's just calories in, calories out. That's what they say.
Right, because you've been trying it for 2 years and it's going really well.
Well, I finally just took it seriously and injected some dairy into my life. Dairy really was...
Ooh.
You just start drinking chocolate milk a couple times a day. Boom.
Last week I ate Evan's ice cream. This week got myself some ice cream.
What flavor?
Yes.
More fish
I got peanut butter half baked.
Oh.
It was pretty good.
Did you get baked when you ate the half baked?
No weed, no marijuana.
Speaking
Nothing
of
wrong
gummies,
with
I
it.
had Sour Patch watermelon gummies, and they're fantastic.
Yeah, when you sent that text or snap or whatever it was, I was like, his Granch has never had them before? Is this like a new thing for him? Like, they've been out a long time.
I haven't had them often, maybe once or twice. But when we have a whole pack, you realize how good they are compared to normal Sour Patch Kids.
I'm an OG guy.
Old Spice deodorant does irritate my armpits, confirmed.
Yeah, figured.
Yeah, stings. So we're back to Harry's. Redwood scent. It's something about the aluminum irritates my armpits. It has to be
Aluminum?
That's the only... Yeah, like you know how in the CVS you'll have like... They'll brand it like aluminum free. And I was like reading the labels.
No, do
Which, if
not
you
know
ever looked
aluminum
at
was
a-
in deodorant.
If you ever looked at a deodorant label, it's just a bunch of gibberish. Like they're all fake ingredients. There's nothing like real in there. A lot of things that end with like orbital, xylitol, whatever. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, these is the same label, and then it's just like aluminum at the top. I'm like, oh, this one doesn't have aluminum. It must be that.
Is your Harry's one like a gel or is it like the white stuff?
I'm gel everything. I haven't had white. There has not been white deodorant on these armpits since in like 15 years.
I feel like the white stuff is like never causes irritation though.
That feels right. Yeah, because it's supposed to be. It's just I don't know. I don't know what.
And
it
ever
is. It
since we had
reminds
that conversation about deodorant last week about like the deodorant getting on your shirt when you put it on, now I'm getting deodorant on my shirt I put on for work every day. It's ridiculous. And I don't even have the white stuff. I have a gel.
Well, that's impossible then.
Well, I can show it.
That's either just that's something else. That's
It's
white.
a gel,
What are
but
you
it's
talking about?
white. It's a white gel though.
Well, if it has white on it, it's gonna.
Gluten-free, cruelty-free, vegan, free of aluminum, alcohol. There's something real in here. There's leaf juice. Yeah, the rest of the stuff ends in. Or eight. Or all. Yeah.
Leaf juice.
This is only one
All right.
I understood was leaf juice, yeah.
The main event that I saved for last before we move on to sports was I watched 2 movies this weekend, which is probably a record for me. Really have never done that. I'm hoping you've seen both so I can talk about them in a spoiler way. The first one was a classic that I've seen parts of, just not the full thing, and that was Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
No way. Once again, talked about that movie skiing. Crazy. What are the odds?
What was the conversation about that
We were
movie
talking
skiing?
about the new show on Apple TV with Jason Segel.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad's like, yeah, that show's just like the Forgetting Sarah Marshall movie. Which that show is really good. You should watch it.
Evan, have you ever seen Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
Yes, I have.
It's been
It
a
was
long
good
time
stuff.
since I've seen that movie.
I don't know if it was
since I've seen it.
I don't know if it was the unrated version, but I don't remember all the nudity in the very beginning when he gets broken up with.
Yeah. I
Like,
mean, the TV version doesn't have nudity.
Like, bleep. And I was like, this is a lot.
I don't remember it like that.
Okay.
Maybe.
Might have just been the Amazon unrated version, but I was like, that is a lot. And then
wins.
the main event was Saturday night. I watched Knives Out,
The first
About
one.
time.
the first one, and that
I haven't
was,
seen it.
There's only one Knives Out.
No spoilers. Haven't
Glass
seen
Onion.
it. No spoilers. Haven't seen it.
But you've seen Glass Onion, because didn't you say you watched that?
I've seen Glass Onion, but I haven't seen the first one.
They're not related.
They're not related.
But I
No.
believe from looking at the cast characters, Benoit Blanc is in both.
He's the only one that's in both, apparently.
So that's related.
No, it's not. Completely different story. I have no idea what happened in the first one, and I fully understood the second.
Well, this is what happens.
No.
It is an amazing. I don't know if Glass Onion is like this, where like you think you
told the
have it
first one's
figured
better.
out. Like I thought I had Knives Out figured out. I didn't have a clue. That director just had me right where he wanted me. Just had me like a puppet. Like, oh, Grant, this is what happens. This is what's going to happen. Not even close, bud. I was lost, and then I was like, oh my god, this is deep. Not sure if you felt the
Speaking
same way
of,
but it was wild.
speaking of movies and TVs, did you guys watch the newest trendy HBO TV show that everyone's raving about?
No zombies for me.
I watched the first 3 episodes this weekend. Yeah, it's scary, Grant. I don't think
What
you'd
show
do
is it?
well. The Last of Us. Luke texted us, Evan, and said
Oh,
we should watch it.
yeah, I needed that's added to my list already because I played the video games growing up.
I'll be
Oh,
honest.
it is?
I didn't even know it was a video game.
Me either.
Yeah, everyone, if you played the video games, you already know what happens in the show. Like the first episode is like storybook.
I was told that the first episode, is identical to the video game.
But the video game is a single player, like, what's it compare? It's like Assassin's Creed, but in a different way. It's like the
Fallout?
one-click method. It's like a story path.
Hmm.
I don't know what. There's a certain name for it, and I just don't know what it is.
Well, these
I just-
zombie-looking things are terrifying.
clickers.
Yeah, they make a weird clicking noise when you get near
They're
them.
called clickers.
Well, yeah, they haven't. I don't think they call them that in the show.
Well,
They
Yeah,
call
they
them
do.
the infected. I'm only on episode 3, Evan. There's only 3 episodes out. I think the
did
4th
you
one
watch?
comes out tonight.
Did you watch episode 3?
Yes,
Did you think it was the
just
best
did before
TV
this.
episode of all time?
Who told you that?
All of the internet said this is one of the best episodes ever.
Because
In
Luke
history.
texted me last night. He said, "Let me know when you're done with episode 3. It's the greatest thing I've ever watched."
Did you cry? Because a lot of people cried.
No, my sister did. I guess. I don't know. I mean, it was like, you guys gonna watch the show? Yeah, you probably will.
Yes, I am.
I will
I'll
not.
say it. I won't say it then.
Okay.
But no, I did not cry. It
Man,
takes a
Alex-
lot.
Alex has got something in that brain that he wants to say, but he knows he can't. But that smirk on his face was
I
like,
don't know if that part's in the video game. Probably not.
You were about to crap on it. You were about to crap on it.
I don't know. I just don't get like
Alex,
what.
I'll give you 3 seconds to say it, and then like flash your hands or wave your hands and tell me when you're done.
Evan, you're back.
Like-
I'll give you something you should watch.
All right,
My brother and I have been watching the Chernobyl documentary /
seen it. Fantastic.
Alex, why do you always have to do that?
Sorry, but it's good. It's really good.
I mean, that is like
Spooky,
it's not.
Is Captain Price in it?
thrilling,
It's just like
because that's
Don't got
real.
that.
That really happened.
yeah, it really happened. Everything in that was basically real. I mean, it is graphic. It is gruesome what they show to the people that got infected, like severe
I'm out.
radiation.
I'm out.
Yeah, Grant wouldn't do well with either of these shows.
I
Is it-
want Grant
what's
to
this on,
watch
like,
it and
HBO?
just give feedback.
It's HBO, I think. Yeah.
It's on HBO, I believe, yeah. But it just I wish that came out before COVID because it's basically just like the government hiding everything from everybody in the public.
Mm.
And that would have been funny if like that came out right before
Fauci.
COVID, just like the government hiding everything from everybody.
That's the same thing in The Last of Us. It's all pandemic related.
But
Minus
Chernobyl's
the fact they turn into like
good.
full on Nazi like government. But
Very good.
Is Anthony Fauci in The Last of Us?
but Pedro Pascal is. He's really
Do you guys remember that was our life? Like, it was Fauci and then that one blonde lady, like Dr. Burks, and they were just on our TV every single day, every night.
How
and
does
now-
that?
Imagine listening to
This-
some
this
They're just
sparks a question for
irrelevant.
me.
Like, we don't even have to worry about them.
Do you guys like feel like that was like yesterday,
No.
or does
No.
it feel like it was a long time
It never
ago?
happened to begin with, so
It almost
No,
feels
I'm
like
saying-
a dream.
So it feels like it's been a long time since that.
I just get pissed off because it wasted like 6 years of our lives.
2. But
Felt like 6.
It was 2.
6 months of our lives.
But we were 22 years old when it happened.
It really was.
Which is kind of wild because I was like,
really
where did
was-
the last 4 years go?
It definitely did impact more, but it really was only like 3 months because we had daddy camp that summer. I mean, we just...
Yeah, but I'm saying like
Yeah, but we
March,
couldn't go
April,
out.
May, June.
We couldn't do anything, Grant. We just lived in the same neighborhood and hung out with each other.
Yeah.
It was different for other people. Evan probably didn't see anybody for months.
Besides like immediate
I still
family.
went to work every day, so it wasn't.
Well, by the summer event, yes.
We
but
golfed every Monday.
I'm saying the
Golf.
March to May period, I guess, the 2 months, that was like pretty shitty.
Yeah, I would say so.
But yeah, it's still for me, it still feels like that wasn't that long ago. But everyone else is like, yeah, no, it feels like 10 years ago.
Years ago. Different life.
Yeah, we were 22, and you lived at home, and I lived at home. We all lived at home, and we were all done with school. Not Evan, sorry.
We just see David Muir on my TV every night feeding me fear porn.
Fear monger.
All right. Speaking of fear, the Detroit Lions.
Wait, hold on. Evan, you had all that time to watch a bunch of shows, and you watched nothing.
During
I
COVID.
didn't have my list during COVID.
Oh, what a miss.
Yeah, you know what I watched during COVID?
That's where I saw
rewatched
everything.
Game of Thrones. I rewatched Game
Yeah,
of
I knew you
Thrones.
would do that. You could have watched so many new things.
I watched The Tiger King over COVID. That was a great show.
Never
Didn't
saw
watch
that.
Did not
No,
watch that.
You're missing out on it. It's an instant classic.
Carol Baskin.
Killed her husband. She whacked him. I was told that he's actually alive.
I don't know anything about that. I didn't know anyone died. Killed her husband, whacked him.
Some guy made a second
She did.
a song, a spoof song about it.
She fed her husband to a tiger.
No, I saw the TikTok. No, is that real?
No, there's actually like her like first husband actually like showed up.
I'm not getting into this because I'm not gonna watch it.
Dude, you want an instant classic? Just go look up his songs on YouTube, dude. Bangers.
Carol Baskin.
What's his name?
Killed her. The
Tiger King.
That's
Tiger
his
King.
name.
Yes.
Yes.
Dude, what a
Dude,
joke.
look up his songs on YouTube.
Tiger Woods. Speaking of
Detroit
fear,
Lions.
there was some fear in the fan base when Deuce Staley left out of nowhere. We were like, what? Deuce Staley?
Wow. Evans wished him goodbye. See you later.
It is what it is.
Evan wished him goodbye.
He
I
said
don't think
bye-bye
it's a
because
big
he
deal.
did leave. I'm
It
going
was
to miss him.
It was a head-scratching moment. I think once we got some clarity from beat reporter Justin Rogers about the family situation, it kind of made more sense. As much as fans can be nice to people, when you see someone leave for a presumed lateral job, it will like make you mad no matter what. But I think with the family situation, we all understood. It seemed like very good terms. Everyone went out on. It is a running like he's going to be. It's a loss for the culture. It's not a coordinator position. My biggest thing from this is what day in February do we announce Barry Sanders as our new running backs coach?
Barry Sanders has never coached.
So you wouldn't hire him as our running backs coach if he said I'd do it?
I don't think he wants to coach.
If he did, though.
I think he's desperate for money, though. I'll be honest.
What?
Hot take.
Think about
That's
this. Think about this.
Salacious.
Salacious.
Before the last 3 years, had you seen Barry Sanders in a single commercial or really in anything? He would go to maybe one Lions game a year. Now he's active on Twitter. He's doing Caesars Sportsbook commercials.
He's
He
really
did a
active on
commercial
Twitter.
with Jeffrey Feiger Law.
No way.
The dude has to be poor and he needs money and he's doing endorsements.
I don't want you to spread propaganda on the internet. You're
I mean,
counting Barry Sanders.
he only played for 9 years. He's probably running out of money.
Yeah, let me pull up his Twitter. He does. He
And he has,
tweet
6
some
kids.
outlandish things. Congrats, Barry. Alex. He said something the other day.
I actually don't know if that's true. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he was trolling Tom Brady when he retired. And I was like, Barry Sanders is trolling Tom Brady when he retired?
Yeah, all of a sudden he starts tweeting because he's trying to get clicks because he's poor and he needs that interaction.
Yeah, I feel like I got to cut
I
that
have his
as
autograph
well.
on a plane ticket. Boarding pass autograph.
If he's looking for a job and he wants to coach Lions running back, I'll sign off on it. How bad could he be?
I think that Dan needs another guy who's been in coaching a while, level head, assistant head coach type guy, because that's what Deuce Staley was.
I'm annoyed that Alex took my joke so seriously and now he's poo-pooing Barry Sanders.
Big Barry Sanders fan. Never saw him, obviously, because I was, not alive. But I have nothing against Barry Sanders.
Evan, do you make the call to Joik Bell?
Kevin Jones, dude. At least he's a coach.
Joik Bell. Every running back will stutter as soon as they get the handoff in the backfield.
But they'll do a 6 celebration.
It's the worst celebration in NFL history.
It's pretty bad.
There's got to be one worse.
Joseph Fourier's celebrations were pretty bad.
Joseph Fourier celebration was way better.
I always
He'll
thought
get fined now. He got too many hips into it.
Worst celebration in sports.
We need a running backs coach for sure. I don't know the list of names. I did see Kevin Jones get floated out because he coaches in all the staff hires. Also, I want to say I'm sorry, Evan. Your chances of getting hired by the Lions are so slim because they only like former players in the NFL.
I saw who was DeMarco Murray, right? Is that former NFL running back in our lifetime?
Yeah. Arkansas?
DeMarco Murray?
Yeah.
Oklahoma. The
Dallas
Oklahoma
Cowboys.
Boys.
Dallas Cowboys, played for the Titans.
But
Played for the
Arkansas,
Eagles, right?
he was
Yeah.
on the cover of NCAA.
Eagles, yeah.
He played for the...
No, that was Darren
that's
McFadden.
Darren
Grant.
McFadden.
DeMarco
Yeah,
Murray went to Oklahoma.
I saw that name floating around there because I think he coaches running backs or something right now for Oklahoma. So I saw that name floating around there.
Asterisk, DeMarco Murray was a finalist for the cover of NCAA 12, so I'm going to count that as partially right.
Okay.
I'm
So was
pretty
Ryan.
sure
So
those
was
don't
Ryan
even
Swoops.
exist.
Ryan Swoops. There's a trivia question for you.
Who's that?
Who did Denard Robinson beat out for the cover of NCAA Football 14?
Ryan Swoops.
Who's Ryan
Wide receiver for
Swoops?
Texas A&M. White kid.
White kid. Nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stiff competition.
Yeah.
No, not really.
Speaking of former players, we added one to our staff, Dre Bly. Alex, you were very positive about this, but then you also sent a tweet that made it sound like it was a bad hire. So I don't know where you stand on this hire.
I stand as when I was a young whippersnapper, my favorite player was Dre Bly because he's the only player on the Lions that was good.
It's the only player when Alex was younger he could spell the last name.
Probably. Yes. And I went to a game at Soldier Field, my first Lions away game ever. I was like 5 or 6, and he had a pick 6. So I was like, oh my God, he's the greatest player ever. And we won. It's like season opener. I think Steve Hutchinson was the quarterback for the Bears.
Evan?
Elephant memory.
Dre Bly, going to be big for Okuda's development, do you think?
No.
Shut up, Alex. Question was for Evan.
I think
Bly
if
can't
Aaron
coach, though.
Glenn stays, it would be big for his development. I think it helps that you have somebody to relate to.
What does that mean? You say Wednesdays?
What? Me?
Yeah,
As if
what was
Aaron
the-
Glenn stays.
I thought you said Wednesday. Aaron
No,
Glenn.
If
Aaron Glenn
Wednesdays.
stays.
Glenn stays Wednesday.
Aaron Glenn
Aaron-
Wednesdays.
I got you.
Aaron,
I got you.
Aaron
Aaron Glenn
stays.
Wednesdays.
That's not me.
But I
I'm
think
sorry,
it's
guys.
it's nice to always have a former player, somebody you can relate to, somebody that's been in those shoes.
Like Aubrey
Especially Dre
Pleasant.
Bly's gotten cooked many of times, but also had some career years with the Lions.
He won the turkey thing on Thanksgiving.
Whoa. He was like 3 Pro Bowls. He has like 51 interceptions in his career.
Alex, okay,
Flag.
he had three Pro Bowls in how many years he played? I'm talking about there's ups and downs to playing cornerback, and right now Okuda's on the down. Dre Bly can
What,
get him out
Grant?
of
Dre
that.
Bly stink?
I wanted the Latin finish, but I was just letting you know I'm throwing a flag on the play because I had to listen to Alex, which I don't disagree with, say how Pro Bowls mean literally nothing, and he just dropped that as a reason for like 3 Pro Bowls. So we can't be using that.
Wow. Tyler Huntley's Pro Bowl means nothing.
We can't
How
just
about
use
that?
it when it fits our narrative. Sorry, Evan. Back to Dre Bly.
No, I got everything out. But Grant, I love you catching him on that.
Yeah, no, he
We're
tried to
gonna-
Yeah,
slip
that's
that
fair.
in.
That's fair.
3
Dre
Pro
Bly
Bowl
won a
people.
Super Bowl.
Quote from Alex Story of the Week. Pro Bowls don't mean anything.
Super Bowl champion, Dre Bly.
Right, with the Rams.
The St. Louis Rams.
The Rams house. So Dre Bly's back. I think that's nice.
Minus the tweet I sent.
He was but that got deleted though. So I think that guy has facts wrong because I clicked on it later.
Ooh.
Yeah. Anyways, Dre Bly was known for being a good recruiter in college. Maybe he can lure free agents to the D.
We don't need him to do that. We have Dan Campbell for that.
Yeah.
I just hope he's better than Aubrey Pleasant.
In the bigger picture,
he stunk.
What do we do if Aaron Glenn leaves? Because we're up against it now with where we're at in the hiring cycle.
Yes.
I'm kind of worried if Aaron Glenn does leave.
The update is Aaron Glenn has not been home this week, so
Can we say that? Are we allowed?
Probably not. Probably should.
Yes,
cut
we
that.
can. Yes, we can.
But I'll be honest. He was home last week
why can't we
Tuesday,
say
and
it?
then I see all this news, and then boom, his house is dark for this whole 7 days since.
Why can't we say it? I mean, it's good
Because
reporting.
it's kind of stalkerish, Evan.
It's not stalkerish.
No.
It's your
Where you
neighbor.
live. Yeah.
Yeah, but does he didn't know who I am? No. Does he know I'm his neighbor? No. Unless
Alex,
he
this is
looked
how
at
we
his
get our
ring cam.
credentials. We're talking about credentials today. This is just good reporting, Alex. You're doing your due diligence as a job.
Aaron Glenn hasn't been home all week, and his wife went with him.
That you've seen.
I'm here every day.
Like you're not
And I look
outside.
every
You're not
day.
outside. You're just saying when you come to and from your house.
When I get into my truck, which is right next to his house,
Alex,
the lights are all off.
There's no difference between us telling the world like a month or 2 months before that the Michigan State was going to be a night game.
Yeah, true.
I hope this gets aggregated. I hope someone picks this up and tweets out like reports, sources inform that he's probably just on vacation somewhere warm.
No, because he was here, and then all that interview stuff started re-popping up after the first couple, because then he was home, and then now
But
he's
he
gone.
wouldn't be.
But the
But the
Cardinals
thing with-
and Colts are the
Colts
only
he interviewed very well.
Those
This
two
is my thing,
jobs,
like-
though. Yeah, go ahead.
You're looking this late in the process. It's like one of those teams is going to hire somebody from one of the Super Bowl teams.
Who though?
I tend to think that.
Oh, the OC from the Eagles.
Yeah, like
Chiefs.
because
Eric
you
Bieniemy's
saw
not
the
even
same
a head
thing. Like the
coaching
Texans
candidate
were taking
anymore.
forever.
There's only two
Texans
teams
did take
left, right?
forever, and they had to wait for the 49ers to get eliminated.
Colts Cardinals, and he's in the running for both. And the Colts said they're waiting till after the Super Bowl.
I mean, Eric Bieniemy could just blow everybody's mind and just get up and leave.
He interviewed for the Tennessee OC job. He's not getting a head
Correct.
coaching job.
Bieniemy
No one thinks he does
also
anything in Kansas City. 'cause he
Bieniemy
probably
also
doesn't.
interviewed. Bieniemy interviewed for the Colts head coaching job at one point earlier. They've interviewed 35 people, so like they're
They
kind
have
of
7 people in.
Jeff
for 7
Saturday is also in
interviews.
the running for that, so take everything with an asterisk.
yeah. I just think I see those teams keep adding more people, and they have like it's not like they have like 2 candidates that have interviewed twice. They have like 10 candidates who have done 2 interviews. So I'm not as worried. I think as like some people are like, oh, he did really well. Like I think he's definitely still in the mix, but I would be surprised if he gets hired for one of those 2 jobs. I would actually be a little surprised based on the candidate pool and everyone in there.
I mean, outside of the Eagles OC, who are the other candidates that have a real shot?
Like a ton. Like both
Yeah, but
Giants.
name some people.
Both Giants coordinators have been interviewed. Flores
Mike
was getting head
Kafka.
coach. Flores was getting head coaching looks. Raheem Morris was getting head coaching looks.
I
mean, there's a lot of the
someone's gonna hire him,
Pan-
Glenn, whether it's this cycle or next. And the same thing's gonna. I mean, that's what happens if you're a good team. Your coaches get poached.
I just would have thought our defense. I understand we know because we watched this team that like the last 6 weeks we were a top like 10 defense. But if you just like owners, just you're gonna look at the season stats and see we were 32nd out of 32 teams on defense and be like, we're gonna hire that guy to be our head coach. I'm just saying like this body of work
League
statistically is
circles.
not in his favor this year.
He's got Sean Payton in his corner, saying how great of a coach he is. Probably.
Well, they need a DC now, but he's not gonna go there for a DC role.
I would not rule that out. I was a little nervous thinking about that the other day.
That would make me angry, and I would have to really take a deep.
I don't
breath
think he
before-
would though, because
No.
I don't think Sean would try to take him from Dan, because Dan and Aaron are his guys, and they're doing well. That'd be
There's
me.
There's a bro code there for sure.
Yeah, you can't do that. But he hasn't been home.
The bottom line is we are kind of screwed if he leaves because there's not many candidates for anything left right now. Vic Fangio is back in the league, which is electric.
Trying to think who our position would we just promote our linebackers coach because of how much buzz he gets all the time? Kelvin Shepard, is that his name?
Yeah, they probably would just pull down Chris Spielman, give him a headset.
I saw that we are already planning our OC in waiting.
I saw that too. We're keeping a guy in the house close to the vest.
Got a weird last name. I don't know what it is.
Ernstrog.
Ernstrugan.
DJ Chark said on Amon-Ra St. Brown's podcast that it would be great to be back. Is this just filler, or is this like we're re-signing DJ Chark?
I don't think we're re-signing DJ Chark.
I don't think it's filler. I don't know if we're signing him or not, but
I'm sure he wants to be, but I don't
deep
think
down,
he
I think it's a very solid option for him.
Someone's going to give him a bag that we are not going to pay.
Let's do a little number game then while we're on this.
He's making 10 or 9 right now.
I mean, Christian Kirk got a shit ton of money.
DJ Chark.
He was pretty
did
good.
live up to it.
Yeah. DJ Chark made like one season like $9 million or something.
Did he
10 million?
Did Chark or did Kirk crack 1,000 yards? Does anyone know?
I think it was just under
1,000-yard year.
He was pretty good. He's on my fantasy team. Got a lot of touchdowns.
DJ Chark. I'm going off a cap hit, so if anyone uses anything different, sorry. His cap hit was only $6 million.
But he had a signing bonus of $3 million.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's for next season. His cap. He got a 1 year, $10 million deal.
Yes,
but we worked it in a weird way, so it was only $4 million against our cap.
Having your mics will making a weird noise. Christian Kirk had 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns.
1 year, 10.
84 receptions.
If he said 1 year, 10. I need to find this real quick. 10. If he wanted like 2 years, if he wanted 2 years, $30 million. For reference, right now, Allen Robinson makes 15.5. Cortland Sutton makes 15.2. Robbie Anderson makes 14.75.
And those all
Robbie
feel like
Anderson
overpays.
only makes.
Well, listen to this also. Listen to this.
All right.
These are the top receivers available in 2023 free agency. Juju, Jacoby Myers, Alan Lazard, Chark, Darius Slayton, Jarvis Landry, Marvin Jones, Paris Campbell, Noah Brown, and Mecole Hardman. That is a horrendous free agent class of receivers.
You know who I like?
Mecole Hardman's going to get some money just because he's
fast.
I like
Yeah.
Noah Brown. I would take Noah Brown in the Lions.
I'm just saying, though, if that's the crop, DJ Chark's going to get paid probably a substantial bag.
Everybody's going to be drafting all these wide receivers in the class.
He's probably looking for $15 million a year.
I don't
Sounds
think
like
he's
I
worth
don't blame
$15
him.
million.
the problem with him though, and he's a unique guy, is like I don't know if you need it now in today's NFL, but a lot of teams subscribe to the theory you need a big body receiver. And we don't have a big body receiver if he leaves. And how do you go get a
You
big body
sign
receiver?
one, you just sign a cheaper one.
That's the thing with those names you read off. Like, who are you bringing in to be the big body guy?
Marvin Jones.
How tall is he?
I mean, Grant, he played here for a while where we know he's capable of making high point grabs in traffic. He's 32. He had 46 catches for 530 yards this year as a wide receiver 3.
Can I give
all the
him
other guys are small.
$8.5 million?
Alan Lazard is kind of big, isn't he?
Yes. Alan Lazard is big.
He'll probably
He's not
go
leaving.
back. He said in the last game of the season he's probably leaving.
If they blow it up, he could be gone.
Jacoby Myers is kind of big.
I'll take Alan Lazard. If the Green Bay's blowing it up, I would happily
Juju's
take Alan
big,
Lazard.
but always hurt. And
I would take Alan Lazard for sure.
yeah, but if Chark's $15 million there,
Lazard might want some. Lazard, we could get Lazard for
15.
2 years, $15 million. He got paid $4 million. He's on a 1 year, $4 million deal. What a salary!
It says rookie deal.
No, he was a UFA and signed a 1 year, $4 million deal to stay.
What about Julio Jones? You want a big guy? You bring him in for like 1 year, $6 million.
No hamstring.
Pro Bowl talk. Anyone stock up or down? Jared Goff. What do we think, Alex?
There's nothing that you're gonna say that stocks him down from a flag football game. Grant, get out of here. I just want all our listeners to know Grant is firmly on the draft CJ Stroud, get Jared Goff out of town for some reason, and it's ridiculous. It's making me angry.
One of my favorite things to do, because Alex just doesn't know when I'm joking, and I just say one thing like funny, and he's like, "Oh, you're attacking Jared Goff." Like,
it's not funny because like, there's just a lot of Jared hate, and Jared's a great guy, and he did a lot for us, so we should be more grateful for him.
Evan, you didn't see it because you were out working, earning $1, and it's just Jared Goff tripped trying to escape the pocket and fumbled in a flag football game.
Grant
and I made a
said
joke
something
about
mean.
it, and then Alex takes it as like I actually want him gone. Like I'm joking.
You've made comments for the last 2 weeks about Jared Goff and how you don't think he can be the guy. Yada 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 yada.
Right now, as we sit here today on February 5th, I do not picture him hoisting. Combo. I don't picture him hoisting a Lombardi in the Honolulu Blue. I can't see it in my head.
Stock down Panay in the Pro Bowl when he ran through those walls. Just absolutely ate shit on the first
I think that was stock up.
Because
that
you
was
had
like
so much momentum going forward.
Yeah, that's a stock up.
Also, can't catch a water balloon. Oh, Frank Ragnow, bad hands, cannot catch a water balloon.
Amon-Ra stock up, best catch in the NFL this year.
Wasn't that cool? I mean, we could have done that. Like his catches were not cool.
Evan and Wyatt should recreate the St. Brown catch. The St. Brown Bros.
I can't believe that won. They couldn't think of anything else. He just jumped off a trampoline and caught a ball.
He did a flip on both of them. It's pretty tough.
He did not do a flip on the one that won off the trampoline.
Kind of. He landed on his back and he went.
He just turned his body and landed on his back. Grant.
You join one rec league and think you're an athlete now.
I could do that. I could. You could do that. We could recreate that.
All right, so stock down for Jared and Panay.
And Frank. Because Frank can't catch.
The last troll thing in the lines is I trolled the internet with a mock draft, and it really got people. Evan, what were your thoughts on the mock? You were quiet.
I was in the middle of work. I checked my phone when I had free time, and I had like 80-some text messages. Like, I'm not going to be able to fight through this. Reading them, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then I saw all the tweet notifications coming through, and I was like, Graham released this mock draft. I know it. Looked at it, and already had like 20 replies in like 15 minutes. I was like, people believe this is real.
Grant's on very bad troll behavior lately. Also tweeted today that Michigan is the third best team in the Big Ten and has people in the comments about that. So
that's just a fact. They are the third best team in the Big Ten in the standings.
Twitter. We're not a troll account. Why are you becoming a troll account?
I've been having fun recently. Just, people take sports way too seriously, and I think it's fun just to dip your toes a little bit and just have fun, especially with mock drafts, with how out of control mock drafts are and how everyone thinks they are an expert on Twitter. I just wanted to have fun. And the beautiful thing about this mock is it's bad because it's 3 running backs, but it was so splashy that I would say about 30% of the people that interacted thought it was
12%.
Like, they were like, oh, like, that's kind of sick. Or like parts
this
of it.
This tweet
like,
has 30,000 views and 80 replies.
The ratio is so beautiful. That's a ratio that you
and the
die
likes
for.
Is only 140. 80 replies to 140
80 replies. Evan.
And 6 quote tweets, all
Trust tree, though. I know you saw that and you thought 3rd and 10, Lions offense. If you have Amon-Ra and Chuck Sizzle lined up, who's
Chuck Sizzle? I would do anything to get Chuck Sizzle on my team.
I would not hate Charlie Jones.
You would see me rocking. I would get a Lions jersey, another Lions jersey, and on the back it would say Chuck Sizzle, not just Sizzle or not just Jones. It would say Chuck Sizzle
because that's a lot on the back of a jersey.
Chuck Sizzle.
Yeah, that's a lot of letters and a space.
My personal favorite chirp back to people was when they're like, where's the defense? And I would just say Isaiah Foskey. Like, because I drafted one defensive guy to make it seem somewhat legit. That was good stuff. What I did learn,
people
though,
were legitimately angry.
What I did learn, which was the most shocking thing, is the amount of, it makes sense, we're a Michigan podcast, the amount of CJ Stroud hate is out of control.
Oh, that actually made me angry. I started replying to people. Because, dude, they're like, CJ Stroud, bum. Bum in biggest games. Bum. Terrible. Never done anything. Threw for almost 404 touchdowns against Georgia, and everyone just is like, yeah, he's a bum.
And he is 0 of 2 against Michigan, had picks in both games, but he's still a good player. I mean, I think I pulled up his stats. It was like 85 touchdowns and 12 picks in like 2 years of college football. That's insane.
The amount of people that said that he's automatically going to have a terrible NFL career. I was like, what? You guys are already making that decision?
I bookmarked at least one tweet from someone saying, like, GM getting fired, whoever drafts him. I'm like, oh, that could be fun to look at in 3 years. That could be a fun one. I almost need him to fall and Brad to draft him just for this storyline.
Yeah, one guy was adamant. He's like, trust me, Brad will never draft CJ Stroud.
They're going to be mad when he goes like 1 overall. Once we get the buzz going after the combine and all that stuff, and he goes 1.
They're going to be mad when he's good.
Pro days, combine.
Evan, you think he's going to be good, right?
Oh, he's going to be good.
Yeah, he's an elite thrower of the football. He's
very
elite.
Good.
Even if you just stripped what he did against Georgia scrambling and you just was like be a pocket passer, he's still elite accuracy wise with that.
He already makes NFL throws. And if you don't have to train him on it, you don't have to fix anything. He can already make it the NFL throws.
Very good.
Once I saw him actually like scramble and use his legs and move around the pocket way against Georgia, I was in, because that's what I had wanted to see from him all X amount of years. And maybe I just realized maybe the Michigan loss woke him up like, oh, I need to do more to like win these games. And he just finally started doing it, because that was the eye-opening thing to me. All right. NCAA football.
Wait,
yeah, Alex,
I have one more NFL.
You also can't get so mad at me about that, because you hopped into the replies as well. You got into the troll mud with me.
Did, and I was like, if they're going to hate on CJ Stroud this much, I'm going to have to pop some replies.
Yeah, you were dropping it was pretty
lines. Fun.
Like, yeah, what about this game, buddy? Like, okay, Alex, tough guy.
I just do want to shout out, since we're in the NFL segment portion, Bryce Behringer and Jaden Reed had fantastic weeks at the Senior Bowl, and both earned honors, so good for them.
That was draft in my miscellaneous, yeah.
And my dad said Jaden Reed wouldn't get drafted. You're wrong.
Stock down.
Does not know ball.
Not know ball.
Had a few people coming back to that tweet being like, yeah, you got great value in the 6th round for Jaden Reed. He's going top 3 round now after his Senior Bowl performance. So I was like, yeah, you're probably right.
Saw he was rated as top 100 last year, and then he had dropped all the way out. Well, we'll see.
Crazy that Jay Johnson couldn't figure out a way to give him the ball this year.
Jake Moody, our first round pick.
Thanks,
Bryce
Brent.
Behringer, our second first round pick. Special teams.
NCAA football question. Speaking of NCAA football, a great question that I guess that Andy Staples has done throughout his career at The Athletic. Basically, the whole magic genie in a bottle wish thing, where they came down and they told you that your college football team wins exactly one, no more, no less, national title in the next 20 years. Or you don't get that and you let the chips fall where they may based on your program. What would you guys do?
I have one question. Obviously, you don't know because you didn't pose the question. But do you know the year that it's going to happen?
I don't think so. It didn't come off that way when I read the article.
Because if it was random, makes it more intriguing. If I know when it's happening, it won't be intriguing. It's like you'll just know that you're going to win the title this year, and it won't be as cool. It won't be
okay. So random.
It has to be random for this.
Yeah.
I'm not answering first though. I'd like someone else to.
Why? You're not confident in your day?
I just want to hear everyone's sides.
We're guaranteed not to have losing seasons every other year.
Yeah, I think this one, it's nice blend because it's more open-ended. Like it doesn't.
You just get a national championship and everything else is just.
Yeah, you get one for sure. You can still be good the other years, but you guarantee one.
Only one. And
but if you don't
like
guarantee, you could win like
then yes. As a Michigan State fan, you should say yes. Because right now we haven't come close to sniffing it.
Don't tell people what they should answer, Evan. Michigan.
I'm saying yes.
No, I like it, Evan. I like it, Evan. Well, not really. You got to make the title game to sniff it.
I quoted my sniff. Sniffed.
Quote yourself.
I'm saying yes. 21. Yes. You won a national championship in college football.
My answer
Pretty
is yes
sick.
as well.
You won the
And I
second
would
greatest
really hope
trophy
it's
on the
year
face
10.
of the earth.
I hope it's year 10.
Why? Oh, right in the middle.
That would just split it up so good because you would still be happy about that national championship for all those 10 years after that.
Oh yeah, I'm yes too. You guys, that's probably obvious. I've told you guys that I would do
I think
this
it's
deal
yes
if it
for
meant-
almost everyone except like the
It's
Alabama.
like the
Georgias,
premier
Clemsons.
schools. It's like Alabama would say no. Clemson would probably say no. Ohio State would say no.
Georgia
Well, that
would
was
say no.
the interesting thing about the article. He was revisiting when they used to do it in Georgia. Fans were like, "Yes, we
Yeah.
do it a couple of years ago," and they're like,
Because
"Thank
now
God,"
they would
like,
have missed
took
out on
looking
the
the
back.
second.
Yeah. The what made me think was because he added, so he had the tier of teams. Oh, 2 years ago, he says the only teams that should have considered option 2 were Alabama, Clemson, Georgia, LSU, Ohio State, and maybe Oklahoma. So he was revisiting that based on how
Oklahoma
things are shaking out.
Sniffs it all the time.
But now this is who he's added who should consider option 2. Michigan, Notre Dame, Penn State, USC.
Penn
Auburn.
State
No, I don't think any of them should
This guy's-
consider it.
on
Oregon.
drugs. James Franklin is
There's
the head coach,
more?
so will not win anything.
He was making cases, like putting a paragraph of why you could try to spin it in your head. He wasn't saying they absolutely should.
Okay,
He's just
well,
saying you
I
would
don't think any
consider.
of them should.
He gave
Penn
a lot.
State's ridiculous. You haven't won
Keep
anything.
going, Grant,
You won
keep going.
one
Penn State, USC,
conference title.
Oregon.
Didn't even make
Auburn.
the playoff.
Oh,
Florida, Florida State, Oregon, Tennessee, Wisconsin. Were
that's
his
a bad list.
list of like could potentially consider it this year.
I think the list is Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, LSU. I would agree that can be on there because they can recruit like crazy good talent. And I would probably say that's it.
What kind of got me like jazzed was I think he had like Alabama, Clemson, Georgia, LSU is staying up there, and then he was a little bit more like hesitant on the Buckeyes. He's like the Buckeyes probably will always be on this list, but little chinks in their armor after Big Daddy Urban left.
Yeah, I would probably put them on the list too. They've won recently.
I mean they were one
8 years
field goal
ago.
away from winning
9 years
this
ago,
year.
Alex.
8.
And they were a field goal away from winning it this year.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they would have been national champions if they would have just won that game. So yeah, I would say they still are 5 stars at every position. So
But I'm humble. I'm a humble Michigan fan. I'm taking it.
it'd be hilarious to watch all the delirious Twitter Michigan fans say that they would, they'd roll the dice and then they'd end
The
up with
national
0
championship
Maybe I'll
didn't
dice.
even
clip it
happen.
and see what they say. I will troll them a little bit.
Yeah, you should
National
because they
championship
would
game.
roll the dice and they would win 0.
All right.
But if they get
And
1, you tie. So I
say
guess it'd be worth it.
NBA Woj Cadmus. Thursday is the trade deadline. What is Troy
Doesn't he
Weaver
have
about?
hypothetical trades or something? Why do you keep
No,
asking?
I just think it's funny. What is Troy Weaver about to do, Evan? What do you think?
Nothing. We're gonna be a standstill. We're gonna trade somebody for like a second round pick, some
Do
bench
we have
warmer
any
that
like
somebody
bench
wants.
guy that's like an expiring? Do we have anyone besides Bogdan that's like worth something?
Alec Burks is meaningful to contending teams.
All right,
You would have him.
Anyone
Whoever
else?
calls first can have him.
No,
He's
Evan.
a pretty solid shooter.
You said Alec Burks or
Evan likes MSU equestrian more than Pistons basketball, so maybe Evan shouldn't.
you say
talk to him
Alex
this
Burks
segment.
or
Alec Burks?
Alex Burks?
Alec?
Burks is you. I don't care about this dude's name. That's who you're saying we need to keep.
I'm not saying we need to keep him, but I'm just
Evan,
saying you don't just get rid of
Gone.
him.
Bye. See you later.
I
He's
think
pretty good.
if you want to make the play-in game next
He's pretty
year,
good when we've
you
won
should
12 games.
if you want to try to make the play-in game next year, you should try to hold on to him.
Oh.
You guys
scores
didn't
a
read
nice-
James Edwards' article. He said that we're going to go all in free agency this summer.
He scores a nice 13 points per game off the bench. He's like Vinny, the guy
Yeah,
Vinny
who's
Johnson,
playing for us?
the microwave.
Yeah, we have to score 160 because we give up 170 a game.
Right. No, defense. I'm just saying 13 off the bench is 13 off the bench, baby.
That's like Ish Smith.
Now, some expiring guys that you want to dump, Alex, maybe a Rodney Magruder, a Corey Joseph,
Gone.
yuck.
Gone.
a Kevin
Gone.
Knox.
Gone.
Kevin Knox, what a bad signing.
Nerlens Noel.
Bad signing. Oh, we got some bad players. On
Marvin
the bench.
Bagley is MIA. He's hurt, I think. So
Caught him.
Has he played this year?
No. Played
not
4
much.
games. Caught him.
Hami Diallo's on our team.
Cut him. He's terrible.
See, Alex, look at this. And this is a team that Grant said was going to make it to the play.
Grant's delusional.
Killian Hayes.
Grant is...
No.
Keep him. Keep him. He's
Contract
young.
extension.
He's like
Long
21.
term. Forever a Piston.
You guys are crazy. I can't wait to come
Cornerstone.
around till you really see what I see.
Grant, we can't agree with anything you say because you're delusional and predict the Pistons to make the playoffs every year and they're about to be the number 1 pick again.
Did I know Cade Cunningham had lingering
If you think if he was there, it was going to go well?
I think we'd be contending for the play-in game.
No, we wouldn't
Worse
be.
than Sacramento.
Dude, he is a top 25 player in the NBA. He is capable of dropping 35 points at any night. We would sure have won more games.
Does that help the defense? Not really.
Yes, because he's a leader, and he will set people straight. They have no leader.
He's there. He's on the team. He can yell at people.
You don't do that when you're not playing. Everyone,
Grant,
that's the
just be
first
like,
rule
you know
about
what? You're
professionals.
right. You're right, Alex. You're right, Evan. I don't know, Ball. I am wrong about the Pistons all the time, and I'm delusional.
I'm overconfident in them, and he got
Delusional.
hurt. What do we always say? Predictions barring an injury.
Can you just say, yes,
Thanks,
I was
Evan.
wrong
Thank you,
again?
Evan.
Because your swing and a miss last year was horrendous.
His rookie year was a miss by me.
Huge. Like a 25 games off miss.
This one was not a miss. He just got hurt.
This wasn't a miss.
I'll go
right.
pull the receipts. I'm sure we all were thinking play-in game.
Yeah, you probably talked us into it like you try to every time.
On this theme, I don't want us to be sellers at the deadline. I want Bogdanovich and Burks, sorry, Evan, to both be on our team next year because I can't do this little dance of we're going to sell off a 20-point per game scorer that we stole from a team this offseason because Cade got hurt and our timeline's messed up. It's about time to start holding on to guys. Like, you made a good deal, Weaver. You went and got Bogdan for peanuts, and he scores 20 a game. And he's an amazing three-point shooter. And yeah, he's getting older, but he's obviously still producing. You need to hold on to guys like that and not just like trade them for an unprotected first from a contending team that's going to be like pick 25 in the draft. I don't want pick 25. I want Bojan Bogdanovic. That's all I have to say about that.
I want to keep him. I don't care as much about Alec Burks.
If we flip Killian Hayes for an unprotected first, yes, do it.
That's just rude.
It's just not possible.
Mean.
Mean.
Some people wanted us to trade Jaden Ivey for OG Anunoby. I didn't like the
No.
thought of that.
Why? What?
People want to give up.
Yeah. Do you blame them, Grant? We stink.
In my mind, the only untouchable people on our team
Cade,
right now,
Jaden, and Duran.
Cade, Jane, Duran, and Bojan this offseason.
But
Bojan's
Bojan's
coming back.
touchable.
No, I need him back.
He's touchable.
For a top 15 pick, you can have Bojan.
Someone gives us a lotto pick for him. Yeah, I'll
That's
tell you.
it. But what? Like, you're going to, I guess, but like what? If we're trying to make something, are you just going to trade Bojan for Jet Howard, essentially? That's going to set you back a little bit on the clock.
No,
Like, maybe-
because we're making a huge splash in free agency. Anyways,
Then we are holding everyone. Like Evan said, we're just sitting still. We're not selling off any pieces if we're making splashes. And I do think that's true because there was a report that Lions ownership assured Bojan that we are going for
Lions.
next year. Pistons ownership. Sheila
that's
Fordham.
what I said in the beginning of this conversation.
Sheila Fordham sat down with Bojan Bogdanovic and said, we're making a push for it next year. And he said, I want to be here when Dan Campbell makes it playoffs. What are you looking at, Alex? Nothing's on tonight.
Big Ten men's basketball standings.
Third in the Big Ten, Michigan.
Fourth.
We'll get to
You're
it.
fourth on the graphic.
We'll get to it. I think that's it. I just wanted to reiterate to the fans that I want to be good and not bad. So I want to hold on to good players.
We all want to be good, but this rebuild's turning into the Tigers, so.
I did have a question. Oh, God, that is dark.
Well, Grant, it's been since 2017 of any reasonable relevance.
No, but this isn't a double rebuild. The Tigers are double rebuilding. We tried to tear it down. We're still in the middle of the teardown.
I don't want to talk about them.
What, you disagree?
I don't want to talk about the Tigers because they're a dumpster fire.
They're a double rebuild. Does not happen a lot in sports.
They're a joke, and they're ruining any fandom of baseball is ruined by them.
You know how hard it is to fail like a tank rebuild? Like
Several times.
Like to
in a
totally like suck for years and get 0 good pieces. I mean, a few. But right now we have the worst farm system in the MLB according to the Athletics MLB reporter.
Yeah. I will spit out my drink.
Anyways. Troy Weaver's smarter than that.
You hope.
Stop doing that. You're making me nervous.
We have nothing to say that's working.
Troy Weaver is going to single-handedly make Evan care about NBA basketball again. No, he does not. He's been playing really good lately.
Jeremy Lin was really good, too, for 5 minutes.
Alex, don't do stuff like this, because now I gotta go look it up, because I just said that, and I'm not sure. But I think he's been doing
Linsanity. Let's get crazy.
I had a question about Kyrie Irving, but then he actually got traded. But I want to see how bad you guys
how
mad
we
you'd
don't
be if
want
he got
him.
traded to us.
I wouldn't hope the franchise would get moved to a different city.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I think it'd be exciting for a minute because he has sick handles.
No.
Alex,
He's a piece of shit human
Well,
being.
I can Flash.
last
I
15
don't
games for
I
Sadiq
looked at
Bey,
it, Grant. I see
18
It's in front of me.
points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists.
He's shooting
Pretty good.
34% from 3 this year. That's garbage. He has 4 rebounds a game. Garbage. 1 assist. Garbage. He's garbage.
All right, why don't you
this
do
year.
Killian's then, Alex?
34 is not bad.
Last 15 games, he's
That's pretty
40%
bad,
from
Evan.
last 15 games, he's
34 from
40%.
3?
Yes. If you're
That's
a
not
good
that bad.
3-point shooter, you should be 40% above.
And he is last 15
Joey
games.
Hauser
40.
is above 40%, Evan. Come on.
Really?
He's
That's-
a bucket.
Killian, 32%. So just as good as Sadiq, really.
Last 15, Alex.
6 assists, 3 boards, 10 points, 2 less minutes. Give me his per 60 average.
All I know is Sadiq plays playing good basketball, and he hit basically a game-winning shot the other night, okay?
Pistons stink. Move on. Next. College
Joey
basketball.
Hauser is
Michigan
still
State
shooting
stinks.
40%. That's crazy. College basketball.
Wow,
you guys
you
want to
got
do
there
Michigan State
before me.
first?
I didn't watch the game Saturday, and I don't think Evan did either. So
Can I watched the second half. Can I?
I watched part of the second half.
Yeah, let's just say it this way. It was a great game for you guys not to watch regarding your guys' 2 my guys on the team.
I heard.
No, my guy's Malik Hall. I'm just a Joey Hauser supporter because all the
Malik had
stupid
a-
Michigan State fans try to bash one human being, blame everything on him, but it's not his fault.
Other than Malik's rebounding, I was what's that guy's name? The Michigan State basketball guy that does the videos after the game. DK.
DK. Yeah, I've seen it.
I watched his little recap that he does after the game. He said it was AJ's worst game of the season and Malik Hall's worst game of the season as well. He didn't say anything about Joey, really.
I can confirm. The nice thing is, though, like, nobody played well. Like, not a single person in the game was like, oh, I had a good game.
Yeah, that's also what I heard.
Tyson Walker had a good stretch, but then he disappeared, and, like, they didn't run anything through Tyson Walker.
I heard the
But he had a
coaching was
good-
bad as well.
Yeah, I mean, in that game, though, it's like the offense just looked, they couldn't get anything going. AJ had just, it was almost like AJ was like a European basketball player, and he came to the United States, and they ran pick and rolls, and he's never seen a pick and roll before. Like, he had turnovers on, like, a few of them, like, several that was, like, bad, but, like, even the ones he didn't turn over on, he was, like, stuttering in the pick and roll and almost, like, didn't know what to do. That was weird. It was weird to watch.
So AJ's confidence is ruined by our fan base. Great.
Wow.
Another taken from the Michigan State fan base, just like Joey got ruined by our fan base.
But, okay, this is a fine line, but I think if you're a player and, like, you're letting your fan base rally you that much, that also goes to the athlete you are.
I was kidding. So.
Oh, okay. See? We're working on it.
Yeah.
I have a tweet, since we don't have to get into specifics of the game. Honestly, though, a fantastic day for you guys not to watch. I have a tweet from Kyle Lawson that almost made me spit out my drink, and I need to ask Alex about.
It's going to piss me off, isn't it?
I'm just going to read it and just see how you two react. This was after the game. Kyle Austin, friend of the pod, doing his due diligence. Tom Izzo said he thinks AJ Hoggard's sloppy play is coming from fatigue and wants to get him down closer to 25, 26 minutes per game. Hoggard said he doesn't think fatigue is causing his turnovers. Quote, not at all, he said. That was like Denzel Valentine Player of the Year being limited to 25 minutes down the stretch of the season is alarming to me.
Izzo does some weird stuff. He does. He does weird stuff to get us ready for March, and I don't always understand it. Like the Bermuda Triangle, for one.
But now,
I'm guessing he just wants to bring him down to 25 so that he's looser, fresher for the end stretch. Whatever. Maybe AJ does need to play less minutes. Maybe he'll play better if he does. This team simply cannot survive, though, if he plays 25 minutes, because that means Trey Holloman's playing like 15, 20 minutes. And I heard he played awful.
Or we just do what we should be doing and bump AJ to off the bench, and your two best guards on the team play 35 minutes.
Well, the problem is, Grant, Walker is way better at the two, because last year when he played point, he stunk, and Akins is not a point guard.
Akins is an everything guard.
No. No, AJ has to play. He's very important. Yes, he had a bad game, but everyone's just going to overreact like always.
Evan, what's going through your head here on the AJ is being limited to 25 minutes per game?
He's not good. That's not going to happen, though.
My eye's going to be on the box score. Go ahead, Evan.
4 minutes less could help. Could definitely help.
You're not taking him off the floor 13 more minutes per game all of a sudden out of nowhere after he's playing 35 every game. That's crazy.
Evan, how would you get AJ out of the slump?
You got to get him back going where he is best at, and that's getting to like the free throw line. That's getting downhill. I would tell him not to shoot a three in games. I mean, he went 0 for 4 against Rutgers. There's a reason why he's so open.
Yeah, but in some games when we need it, he hits them. Eventually,
he needs to get downhill.
He needs to hit one a game.
Downhill.
You could implement a scare tactic. Go ahead, sorry.
I think you do need to limit minutes. I think he played 32 of the 40 minutes. 32 of the 40 minutes, and he had the most turnovers on the team.
Well, it's pretty natural for your point guard to have the most turnovers.
Shot 30%. Missed 7 shots.
This feels like an AJ pick-on session when the whole team stunk and they scored 55 points.
Correct. The whole team stunk. I mean, we shot 34% from the field.
You gave up 42 points to a talentless offense in Rutgers in the second half.
You're going to be pissed if you ever look up the guy that scored 17 points in the second half.
It was Mulcahy. I already know it was him. I saw a part of the second half. He just dribbled inside and made some dumb little layup every time.
I mean, they made 11 more free throws than us.
He's the emotional leader of that team.
I did see we shoot the least amount of threes in all of the NCAA.
Threes?
Threes.
Three-pointers.
I was surprised too.
Shot 21. Well, we had 23 fouls against us, and they only had 16.
Home cooking at Madison Square Garden, based on what Evan's saying.
They shot 34 free throws.
Yeah,
it wasn't meant to be.
We never shoot free throws.
They shot 20 more than us. They shot 20 more free throws.
Evan, that's been all season. When do we ever get to the line?
I think this also stems down from you don't have a post player that can actually go and get you a bucket.
I was just going to say, we can pick on AJ all we want, but you know how much easier it would be for our guards to be what they are if we had a single player down low that could do anything, and we don't have one. Sorry,
you have rebounders and defensive guys. You don't have skilled offensive guys. Kohler,
and your one skilled offensive guy cannot be on the floor more than 5 minutes because his defense is so bad.
Correct.
So Grant, Sissoko,
and it hurts because the Big Ten is just center buffet. I mean, it is 7-footers
every game.
Yeah. Or Trace Jackson Davis, and he's just as soon as he gets hot, there's nobody stopping him in the country.
I mean, he's been going.
That's a fact. Crazy. His first half against Purdue was one of the best halves of basketball I've seen in my entire life. It was a masterclass.
So, anyways, no more AJ Hoggard hate. He had a bad game. No, he doesn't need to be playing 25 minutes, but yes, maybe 30 would be better.
So you disagree with your head coach?
Yeah, 25 minutes is Tom just calling him out to see if he can get him going.
This also sucks. This is a big black eye. I think this is one of the worst losses of the season, solely because you had 6 days off before to prepare for this. That
is what is upsetting. And that's why I think some coaching blame needs to be put on, because how are you not ready after a week off after our coach publicly bitched about our schedule several times during that stretch.
Every single Big Ten team gets like this 5 to 6 day period, and this is just ours.
Well, I'm saying he bitched it up, and then you get all your practice time, and then you lay a deuce at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, which was a gift of a neutral site game, honestly.
I mean, from the looks I got, it looked
at the rack though.
Looked like a lot.
You
of
would,
Rutgers
Evan?
fans.
You could have technically left a day earlier, and you would have had gym time. Madison Square Garden, you ain't getting gym time.
We notoriously shoot pretty well at the rack. Bryn Forbes broke the Big Ten record there.
Langford shot very well there.
Class.
Gabe Brown shot very well there, but the rest of the team usually doesn't show up.
We've only lost at the rack once. That was last year by 500 points.
That was COVID year.
I think you just got to do a scare tactic. Scare tactic with AJ and just tell him that I'm going to pull you from the game if your first bucket isn't either a free throw or a made layup.
The problem also with you guys saying you don't want him to shoot threes, if he doesn't attempt any though, or make any, I guess in this case, then all players have to do is just sit in the lane, and they're just going to prevent him from even getting inside, and then.
Then he can hit his little mid range. He's better at those.
Pump fake drive. Dish and kick.
They're not going to run. They don't even run at him at three. If he makes a couple, they'll start do that, and he'll get inside. Purdue first time.
We've watched like point guards do that throughout our lives. I mean, the guy from Butler, Aaron, figured it out. Xavier Simpson figured it out. He can never shoot a three. You can just be like effective enough. We don't need AJ to score 20. Just see him score like 12, 15. Distribute.
Evan, you're in the camp that the sky's falling and that we're going to miss the tournament and you're overreacting like our fan base and that we should pray that we get in?
No.
Okay, good.
Our seeding's not going to go up. I can tell you, we're not going to be a 6 seed. Be a 7 through 10 seed.
6 would be win out regular season.
We've already done the math. We know the floor of what it took to sneak in. You guys were 15 and 12 and 9 and 11 in the Big Ten. I don't think that's happening.
We would have to go 3 and 5 down the stretch.
Like I feel like the fan base,
Big Ten tournament games.
The overreactionary fan base you guys have, and every fan base has, like you guys have a very recent, clear example of what it takes to get in, and they're all like, "Oh, we're screwed." It's like, "Are you planning to go 9 and 11 total, 15 and 12?"
I mean, Evan said like 2 years ago he hated our fan base. I am fully in the camp, and I can't stand it. I can't even. We
scored 2 points in 7 minutes of game action.
And now the good thing though is like,
oh my god!
I think the only thing
I didn't watch this game.
I think the only thing like this loss may like recalibrate in the stretch, the 2 and 5 out of 7 game stretch is like people like every Big Ten fan base has been a victim of this.
Purdue twice, Illinois and Indiana. I mean, you lost to the 3 best teams and Rutgers.
Except for Purdue, it's like I think every Big Ten fan is like, oh, that's like they look at the schedule and they're like, oh, that's just some winnable games. But like we just need to reframe it that like any team in this league can beat the other, or maybe Nebraska is like that's a winnable game.
Minnesota is bad.
Yes, those two you're like okay, but every other team can beat the other team.
Yeah,
minus Purdue, they pretty much beat everybody.
And Michigan State lost to Purdue twice, Illinois, and Indiana, and Rutgers. I think those are the top 4 teams in the Big Ten. Maybe not in the standings, but like those are the 4 teams that have been ranked in the polls.
Yeah.
It's not like terrible losses. It's just terrible the way they've lost is because they've led in every single game in the second half, except maybe Indiana.
Must win on Tuesday?
Yes. Maryland at home, it'd be a pretty bad loss.
They're playing good ball, though. It's going to be a tough one. Maybe. Maybe you guys will wake up. Maybe it'll be like a bludgeoning like it was against Rutgers. But Maryland has been playing good basketball.
Also, hard to beat a team twice. That's why we lost to Rutgers. I can throw out millions of excuses if needed.
Maryland has won 5 of their last 6.
It's at home.
Yeah.
And it's not Northwestern, so you should win. It's the only team we lose to at home.
On the other side of the coin, Michigan picks up 2 wins in 1 week for the first time since like the beginning of January, I think. I was trying to look back at when they won 2 games in a row. So pretty massive for them. Now, the teams weren't that good. But Northwestern's been solid. They went to Northwestern and won.
They just won at Wisconsin tonight.
I think it's more of like a troll at this point or like a joke of like, hey, 3rd in the Big Ten standings. That's where I'm at. Like, I think you look at it and you're like, oh, well, everyone's tied, but it's just fun to say you're 3rd. It is crazy Rutgers goes to IU. I was already doing the math of just another funny thing. We're going to look at the standings, but that can't be right. Rutgers goes to IU on Tuesday. Probably will lose, I would imagine.
It's impossible to win at Assembly this year.
Michigan plays Nebraska on Wednesday. They win that.
You're still riding a cakewalk schedule.
They are second in the Big Ten, which that will be jarring to look at the standings and see the block have it second in the Big Ten if it works out like that. It'll come crashing down most likely unless something crazy happens. But that's just going to be a wild night. That's one you just savor and be like, oh, we were second at one point.
After Nebraska, you might be favored in one game the rest of the year. Maybe two.
I was more scared about that stretch than I am now because I realize everyone in the Big Ten is kind of just mid.
You have Indiana twice. You have Illinois at Illinois. You have Wisconsin twice. You have at the Rack. And then you have Michigan State.
I would say looking at that right now.
Wisconsin, I think you could beat them twice. You could beat Michigan State at home.
You, as a fan, you should expect to beat Nebraska.
And yeah, Nebraska I'm not including. That's
Indiana at home. You should expect to split with Michigan State. But I wouldn't be surprised if they lost this year. You should expect to beat Wisconsin at home.
Yes.
And then you pray you split either Illinois or Indiana, but you probably won't.
You're maybe you need definitely losing your last two games of the season. You're going to have to steal.
You need to steal a road win against Wisconsin. Wow. Then
you need to win both Wisconsin games.
That's not going to happen because there's no way this team, what I've seen so far, has a 6-game win streak going into Rutgers. That's impossible.
Not beating Indiana Saturday.
At home? I expect to win that game.
If you do win that, you will lose at the Kohl Center the following Tuesday.
That would make sense. But
there's no shot you're walking into the Rack and getting a win.
You should beat
maybe
Indiana at home. You should. That would
I don't know, dude. They're pretty good.
You lost to Purdue by 5 at home. I would think you can beat Indiana. And Dickinson has been very good against TJD his career. That's a good matchup for Michigan.
I mean, Indiana's rolling. I guess they lost to Maryland this week.
Yes, Maryland's good. Fuck. Maryland is playing good ball. I don't know if they're good, but they've won 5 of 6. You're playing them at a bad time.
Just be MF
let me look.
At 11 o'clock on Tuesday.
What this actually
for that shit.
What this really matters though for is
they beat Minnesota.
As we come down to the stretch here, that the seeding is like matters. Like I don't care deep down if Michigan like they miss the tournament or like you can tell they're frauds. But for the sake of the Big Ten tournament, if you get a 4 seed, you get a double bye, you get quarterfinals. Like as much of a joke it is, if they can hang around just enough and sneak somehow into the 4 seed, that's massive for like winning one game in the Big Ten tournament that matters, and then like maybe getting into the play-in game.
Oh, I'm dying for Michigan State to be a top 4 seed because that means you have a realistic chance to win the Big Ten tournament. Like you have a real shot to win. So if Michigan gets the top 4 seed, and they just might win the whole Big Ten tournament, it won't even matter.
Sneaky, would it be better for Michigan to finish 5 through 8 so they can get a potentially easier win under their belt and then get momentum and knock off a top 4 seed and then get eliminated? So
if you're a bubble team, it's probably better to not have the double bye because you probably could lose your first game. You need to win one game.
I'm almost thinking 5 through 8. 5 would be nice.
5 would be nice.
Get a 5 seed, play the worst team,
play 11.
Win, get hot, upset the next. Well, it's probably the 1 seed. You're not going to beat Purdue. Never mind. Be like the 7 seed. Pick off somebody in the top 4.
The 5 would go to play the 4.
Okay, then be the 5. Beat the 4th team and then get eliminated. And then you have 2 wins for the committee to go into the bracket night.
5 versus 4, 1 versus 8.
Evan, I don't think you should be that worried about Maryland. I did some looking. They beat Minnesota by 40 yesterday. 81-46. That's kind of crazy. Then they beat Indiana at home on Tuesday. They beat Nebraska at home. Beat Wisconsin at home. Lost to Purdue.
Did you say?
And Michigan at home.
Maryland beat Minnesota 81-46?
At Minnesota yesterday.
That's trippy because Michigan beat Maryland 81-46.
But I'm saying of their stretch, they lost to Iowa by 15. They beat Michigan, Wisconsin, and Indiana all at home. And then the other teams stink, Nebraska.
It's hard to do with this year's Big Ten when you're not Purdue.
They don't have a road win.
That is a good fact.
Other than Minnesota.
Wow.
They don't have a
Hostile
road
place.
win.
The barn.
Minnesota does not count. They're a hockey school.
And they lost at Michigan 81-46.
But they're playing good ball.
I like it.
Confirmed. They have no road. They have one road win outside of that. Sorry. They beat Louisville. Who has one win this season.
I mean, we were razzing on Michigan not having a quad one win, but Michigan State only has 3.
Well,
Michigan
we
now
had
has
4.
one.
We had 4.
Michigan
They
has
took one
one.
away from us.
Evan, we picked up 2 this weekend because Maryland
Ohio State is not a quad one.
Maryland moved up to top 30 and then whatever the ranking they used for that. So we picked up 2 and only played 1 game. It was
Also, it
we
fluctuates.
lost one.
It's not just set in stone.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
it changes.
It's
Yeah.
dumb.
Oh, God. That's
We
so
had 4
stupid.
last week. We had 5 at one point, and now we're down.
Now we
to
only have
3.
1 more than Michigan. That's how bad we are.
We're not bad.
It is.
We get a quad one win on Tuesday, Evan. If we win.
First round weekend exit. Here it comes.
It's kind of
No,
cathartic
no,
and
no,
nice that
no.
every Big Ten fan outside of Purdue is realizing that we're all just a bunch of mid basketball teams, and there's
I
varying
wouldn't say
degrees
we're
of
mid. I
mid,
think
but
we're just all
A bunch of
talented
mid
enough.
basketball teams make the Sweet 16.
It's like the Big 12 right now. Big 12 just beating the crap out of them.
But they're
themselves.
all, the difference is they just all get to be ranked in the top 15 for some reason.
but they just have less losses. Like a lot of teams in our conference almost have double-digit losses already.
Is it because our non-conference, everyone played a bad non-conference?
Well, we did not play bad knock.
I mean, I
as
wish
in the
Tom would have
tough?
just scheduled tough. Sorry. I wish Michigan State just scheduled like Western and Eastern 18 times, and then we would just have like 4, 5, 6 losses instead of 8, 9. What do we have? 9?
I might be letting the rankings influence me, but like when I watch the Big Ten games I've watched, the level of basketball does feel like a massive drop off. Like I look at the games and I do not see many NBA players in our conference.
No one can really like score 1-on-1 in the Big Ten. Well, other than the big men. We don't have like crazy shot makers in the Big Ten.
Like there was a time when you guys had Gary Harris, we had Victor Oladipo, we had Hardaway Jr., Trey Burke running around our teams. And I look at like the crop of Melo Trimble, D'Angelo Russell. Like we had NBA guys like walking around. And now I'm just like, I don't
Bridges
really know.
before he beat his girlfriend.
Jaren
Jackson.
And now you look around and you're like, yeah, I don't know. I don't see it.
Yeah, the talent isn't good, but
It's a good point.
Even Purdue is not an NBA style team at all.
Michigan State
basketball
doesn't have an
teams.
NBA player on their team. Maybe Jaden Akins. Maybe.
Maybe. Probably. At some
And then
point.
the guys we're bringing in are NBA guys, so that's cool. That helps.
I'm glad you already know that.
At least they're good. They're on like projected draft picks.
Oh, last thing was then I tweeted it out, so you may have seen it, but this game confirmed it. My NBA 3-point line theory, which is part of your
that's
guys' shooting problem. It was so bad. And then I dialed in on it for my take, and every single Malik Hall took like 2 of them, and he was like beyond NBA range. It's like, dude, you're on the white line. You're not playing on the blue line. You can be up. It's a disadvantage. People should start handicapping that for betting. If your
Evan,
team
I
is
can't
playing
even
on a
find
court, if the team is playing on a court where there's 2 lines, hit the under because all their 3-pointers are going to be from NBA range, and they're not great shooters to begin with.
Good news, Evan. Good news. After our Rutgers loss, we went from 47th to 45th in the net, and we added a quad 1 win, so we're now at 4.
We moved up.
Yes.
So Rutgers beating us allows us to be a quad 1 win. So
Because I
Rutgers
think
is quad
they
1 win,
became
so
a quad 1 win, and Iowa became a quad 1 win.
Oh.
We have 4.
I'm going to
And
work
North
on
Carolina is only 1 spot ahead of us, and they're still talented.
Who won that game between Duke and North Carolina? I fell asleep.
Duke.
Shire better than Coach K confirmed.
But Evan, here's the bad news. Oral Roberts is ahead of us in the net rankings.
I need to work on a troll tweet for quad wins because it's all I see this year in college basketball, and it's pissing me off because I would like to go back to the days where we didn't just play. Oh, is it a quad 1 win? Like who gives?
Is
Just
quad
watch
1
the
top
games.
40?
Just watch the games and decide if your team is good or not.
Is
you don't
quad
need to be
1 top
we have
40?
a quad 2. Maryland just slipped into 30. We have a quad 2 win. It's like who cares?
Is it
dude?
quad 1 top 40? I need to know.
Depends on where you play them, Alex. If you play them at
neutral
home,
site.
if you play it top 50. But that was not. It was treated. Again, this is how in the weeds it was.
No,
that
I'm saying
game was-
Kentucky's a quad 1 win because they're at 31.
Yeah.
Sick.
If you're
Maryland's 28,
this is
that's
what
a
it
big
is.
time quad
If
one
they're
win.
top 30 and it's at home, that's a quad 1 win. Top 50 neutral, top 75 road.
Top 75 road.
If you beat a top 75 team on the road, you get a
Wow,
quad one
thankfully, Michigan's 74th, so when we go to Ann Arbor, we can get a quad one win.
win. There you go. I think that's true. I looked it up earlier today because I was getting pissed about seeing quad one
Michigan's
wins.
74th.
For now.
2-8 in the quad one.
They're gonna have to say our name.
Evan
went-
at Wisconsin
second in the
quad
Big
one
Ten.
because they're 69th.
Oh.
This is so dumb. I hate quads. I hate it. It's ruined our sport.
It kind of ruined it because they like make everything based off of it now.
The very last thing I have before we hang up is the Bally Sports got a new broadcast booth. Anyone have any thoughts on it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Tigers made some moves.
Todd Jones, handlebars
Because
back,
Dan
baby.
Dickerson quit.
He's radio, Alex. Please understand sports.
I don't watch. I have tuned out of that franchise so much.
Yeah, you
Sorry.
don't watch.
Who's our Bally Sports crew?
You don't watch Dan Dickerson. You
Bally
listen to Dan
Sports.
Dickerson.
Yes, you're right. Because the only time I listen to Tigers is in the car.
But Dan Petrie, I don't think's on it anymore.
They got rid
We
of.
don't have
Whoa,
Craig
we got
Monroe?
rid of the guy we talked. No, he's on. He's going to be like one of the main analysts now. Like he's going to be in the booth, not just a sideline guy.
I kind of think he's terrible.
A lot of people like him. He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, I don't
He's
know his
energetic.
delivery.
He cares.
So it's going to be like him and it's going to be Semo and Shepard, I think, for a lot of the broadcasts, and Kirk Gibson is still going to be mixed in. And then they got rid of Jack Morris. We talked about that last week. They're bringing
Did he
in.
say something bad?
last
Yeah,
year.
that was about Shohei Ohtani a long time ago, Alex.
I remembered. I was just kidding.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And then we're bringing in Cameron Maben and Todd Jones. That's right, Evan, for like to be on the booth or like
We
sideline
should put
guys.
them on the team because of how bad we are.
I like that. I like that actually. It's the funniest thing you've said tonight, Alex.
Thank you.
You haven't given shit until now.
Oh, please.
We're an hour 45 in. That's the first remotely interesting thing.
Shut
you've
your
said.
mouth.
All right, that's all. I just didn't know if you guys were gonna watch the Tigers more.
No, I'm not going to watch them more.
I will try to as much as possible. I do
No, you
enjoy
won't.
baseball.
Evan, take that back.
Shut your mouth.
I'm insulted. You're gonna try to watch this team.
We are boycotting this.
Does your
them as a
mom still watch?
podcast
Does
this
she
year.
watch when they're really bad?
Oh, and when they're on TV, she will watch. But we don't have Bally Sports because Dish Network's a piece of crap and Bally
Right.
Sports is a piece of crap. So
Yeah, really.
Dish?
Bally's been
How is
streaming a
Ohio
little bit
State
better than me.
36th in the net rankings at 11-11 and 2 quad one wins? It makes no sense. It makes none.
Alex, I agree. Put Michigan in the dance.
36th, and they are 500.
I legitimately think if you pick the committee, you should just look at each team and think, could this team, like, does this team have a feature that would be good for the tournament? And if you take Michigan, like your guys' case, easy every year, Hall of Fame coach, yes, need them in the tournament. Michigan, biggest villain in the game, yes, need them in the tournament. It should not be based on net. It should be based on storylines.
that's why Trey Young got in.
Trey Young,
Isn't-
Whatever that year
yes.
was.
Isn't there
Absolutely,
36 at large spots? Ohio State would be in based on the net rankings alone, and they are 11-11.
Yes, Michigan brings way more to the NCAA tournament table than Ohio State does, and that is a fact. And their fans would even agree with that.
I can't believe Michigan is 35 spots below, 40 spots below.
I think the biggest factor is if you lose to a like quad 4 team like CMU, it really bumps you down.
Ohio State has a quad 4 loss.
No, that just
Who?
disproved my theory.
Only lost to Minnesota.
Oh my god, dude! They have two quad one wins, and they're 10 spots ahead of us.
I looked up Louisville; they're 3-20.
Louisville's program's a dumpster fire.
What happened to that? Is that going to
Dude,
be you guys
Ohio
after
State-
Izzo?
No,
Okay,
We're
Just
not a
making sure
cheating
ever be
scandal.
that
We don't
bad.
have. We're not on probation for
they've had 3
scholarship
coaches
loss.
in the last 4 years.
I'm just making sure, guys.
My God, Grant.
Yeah, the Boosters didn't fire the previous head coach.
Dude,
I
this
just wish the
net
Big
is
Ten
so
was fun.
shitty. This net is so bad.
Stay tuned for the
Duke?
Glass Onion review.
Duke has 2 quad one wins, and they get to be 25th.
Have each of you guys seen Glass Onion?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Florida Atlantic top.
Alex is
20
putting me to
country.
sleep reading off net rankings. So cheers to episode 108.
Cheers.
Cheers to the Super Bowl.
Cheers to the
To the
Super Bowl.
And Patrick Mahomes raising his second. Although I don't think they're gonna win.